Good evening and many thanks for joining us. You're watching QTV Nightly News, coming to you live from our studios on Caraba Avenue with me, Answana Isonyase. Here are the main news headlines. In a bid to strengthen democracy and good governance, Westminster Foundation for Democracy on Saturday organized training on gender and development for elected and nominated women councillors and members of district tribunals. The Gambia Police Force has successfully concluded its 3-day police bill validation forum focused on ensuring that the revised police bill aligns with the needs of the police force. The Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology Friday launched a study on creche facilities in higher education institutions under the World Bank supported RISE project. And the Center for Research and Policy Development held a roundtable discussion on Thursday with CSOs, the media and the police to address important issues relating to human rights violations. And in sports news, over a dozen children took part in a month-long tennis academy training organized by former Gambia tennis champion Daniel Abel Thomas at the Independence Stadium. Well, stay tuned as we bring more of these and other stories. And we now take a look at the news in detail. Now, in a bid to strengthen democracy and good governance at the grassroots level, Westminster Foundation for Democracy on Saturday organized training on gender and development for elected and nominated women councillors and members of district tribunals on issues of gender and development. Usman Jata tells us more.
Women make up more than half of the Gambia's population, yet they account for only 10% of the country's political space. This is evident at the National Assembly. In line with this trend, these women councillors and members of district tribunals from across the country are being trained to become more responsive to the needs of women and marginalized groups. Tabu Sarnjai, country director of Westminster Foundation, highlighted the important role of women in society and the inclusion of women in the political ecospace.
While we support our partners, our approach encompasses enhancing institutional and technical capacity, collaborating with all professionals from Parliament, civil society organizations, the media, local council, to not only strengthen democracy and accountability, but to ensure inclusive governance, better public policy, human rights, and thus leaving no one behind.
The essence of this training is based on the principles and standards of the legislation which gives women the mandate and authority to contribute to the fair dispensation of justice on issues affecting them. Alaji Saho is the vice chair for the Karawan Area Council.
The most important gathering as far as the development of this country is concerned, because the men were leading, but a lot of these honest things were happening. But when you decide to bring the women in the leadership role, then we hope we will have a better country than before.
The training also seeks to recognize diversity and decision-making processes. Fatu Aida Juf, councillor at the Banjul City Council, advocated for the need for women's participation in key leadership roles to enhance national development.
So women in leadership is very important. The family from Nekani will be recognized in the leadership of women.
Having women in leadership signifies that we are very important in society, and there is high hope that if women take up leadership responsibilities, there will be a lot of change. We will share knowledge gained from this training with our fellow women to promote more women participation.
For more than 30 years, the foundation has actively helped democracies to grow stronger, thereby promoting freedom and prosperity. Mohamed Espa, president of the Gambia Press Union, is among the facilitators of this training.
Women were not represented at the district tribunal, and now we've seen few women participating at the district tribunal in addressing issues of concern such as gender-based violence, and other important issues or societal vices or menaces that are meted against women. So it's important to guide them on this legal framework, because it's part of their work, and also discourse around the importance of women participation in politics and in the decision-making processes.
Since inception in 2018, the Westminster Foundation Gambia chapter has been closely working with the National Assembly as its main partner. The foundation continues to lead efforts to promote democracy in the Gambia and around the world. Osman Chata reporting for QTV News.
Now, the Gambia Police Force has successfully concluded its 3-day police bill validation workshop focused on ensuring that the revised police bill aligns with the needs of the community and the principles of democratic policing. Julian Jai attended the closing and senior reports.
Various arms of the Gambia security sector are undergoing reform as part of a wide-range security sector reform process. This GIZ-supported program, which began on Tuesday, brought together stakeholders including regional governors, chiefs, alcalos, and other partners to review and validate the proposed police bill. At the opening of the event, Yankuba Sonko, the consultant on the project, says the bill seeks to provide an effective and efficient police force that will be based on principles of accountability and transparency, respect and protection of people's human rights.
It will be accountable to the laws of the Gambia in all its operations, activities, and actions. They will also be accountable to the people of this country for its service delivery in line with the policing needs of the various communities they served, and also to the government for the use of government resources and other resources provided for by other partners.
Sidi Mukhtar Toure, the Inspector General of Police, describes this as historic because the police force has been governed mainly by colonial-era legislation since the creation of River Police in 1855.
The current act has been amended 7 times between 1949 and 1986 to cater for the challenges in policing demand of the people. 1986 to date is a lifetime. A great deal has changed in the intervening period in terms of the nature of crime and technological advances. Crimes like cyberbullying, identity theft, internet fraud, and distributed denial of services.
Ibrahim Abba, Assistant Inspector General of Police, spoke on behalf of the Inspector General of Police during the closing ceremony. AIG Ba thanked GIZ for their immense contributions to the Gambia Police Force over the years.
They have partnered the police in various areas in the form of capacity building, logistics, training, etc. So they have been a very fruitful partner to the Gambia Police Force. And we expect the collaboration between the GIZ and the Gambia Police Force will continue to prosper.
Teresa Albert, Communication and Gender Advisor at GIZ, gave assurances of GIZ's commitment to supporting the force in its reform agenda.
Our journey together has been marked by robust discussions, insightful contributions, and a shared commitment to fostering a safe and more just society. The workshops we have conducted are a testament to the power of collaboration and the collective will to drive meaningful change.
In an interview outside of the workshop, Counsel Kissima Bitey from the Ministry of Justice and a participant in the workshop applauded the Gambia Police Force for taking proactive steps to repeal the current Police Act, stating that the new bill is a necessary step that addresses the current realities of policing in the Gambia.
What happened now, the bill will eventually be sent to the Ministry of Justice through their line ministry, that's Interior. And what they will do, they will actually ask the Ministry of Justice to actually review the bill, but still a draft.
The successful conclusion of this workshop marks a significant milestone in the journey towards a more effective and community-centered policing framework in the Gambia. For QTV News, I am Julden Jai.
And we still stay with Julden Jai as she reports again that the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, MOHAS, on Friday launched a study on creche facilities in higher education institutions under the World Bank-supported RISE project.
The study on creche facilities will assess tertiary and higher education institutions in the Gambia, and the findings will guide policy decisions aimed at increasing the enrollment and retention of girls and women by supporting nursing mothers in their academic and professional pursuits. Fatou Jane is the Principal Tertiary and Higher Education Officer, TVET, and also a project focal point at the Ministry of Higher Education.
A lot of the time we hear people will say, I take my child to daycare centers, or we have daycare centers attached to ECD centers. But I'm sure we will all come to know or realize later that these are not creche facilities. You know, a girl child is surrounded by a lot of factors that affect their participation or effective participation.
Mukhtar M.Y. Dabo, the Deputy Permanent Secretary Technical at the Ministry of Higher Education, says the initiative is born out of the ministry's commitment to creating an inclusive and supportive educational environment that caters to the diverse needs of our students, faculty, and staff.
We recognize the importance of addressing the challenges faced by those who juggle the responsibilities of parenthood alongside their academic and professional pursuits. By establishing these facilities, we are not only alleviating the burden on young families, but also fostering an environment where all members of our academic community can thrive.
According to officials, the establishment of creche facilities is not merely about infrastructure. It is about creating opportunities, empowering individuals, and ensuring that every student and staff member has the support they need to succeed. Dr. Kenneth Igaro, the consultant for the study, highlights what the study will entail.
In the Gambia, it is a comprehensive quantitative and qualitative survey it will involve to identify areas of improvement, to assess how these facilities impact female participation in tertiary and higher education. In this survey project, in this study, we will guide policy strategic decisions with the goal of enhancing creche facilities.
Early childhood education sets the foundation for a child's lifelong learning and development. Creches play a vital role in providing a nurturing, stimulating, and educational environment that supports children's holistic growth. Here is Dr. Igaro again.
We have creche, we have alternative care, we have nursery or kindergarten, and we have pre-primary and primary. The creche is very, very critical. It is from the age of 6 months to less than 4 years. That is creche.
A new study by the International Labour Organization covering 82 countries finds that providing continuous childcare to parents from the birth of their child to the start of compulsory primary education could close the so-called childcare policy gap. For QTV News, I am Julden Yai.
And a report there by Julden Yai will lead us to the commercial break, but we will be right back.
Welcome to the future of transportation in the Gambia. The Bertel Harding Highway, a 22-kilometer double carriageway, is set to revolutionize travel and connectivity in our beloved country. The Bertel Harding Highway is transforming transportation in the Gambia with new roundabouts and vehicular overpasses. But safety must come first. Standing along the road or at roundabouts to flag down taxis creates unsafe conditions and unnecessary traffic jams. Remember, always board taxis at designated taxi garages or the garas located at major traffic points. Drivers stopping in no stopping zones will be penalized. Let's keep our roads clear and safe. Together, we can ensure a safe and efficient journey for all.
Indian Institute of Hardware Technology Gambia Limited, one of the leading ICT training institution in the Gambia. Enjoy a 30% discount on all programs' tuition fees if you enroll before the 10th of September 2024. Our program will start in September 2024. Our offered courses: Diploma in Introduction to Information Technology, Diploma in Database Admin, Advanced Diploma in Software Development, Diploma in Technical Support, Diploma in Multimedia, Diploma in Cybersecurity. We also offer Cisco Certified Network Administration CCNA, Cisco Certified Network Professional CCNP courses. Enroll today. Call us at 7001-968. Visit our website www.iihtgambia.gm. Connecting talent to opportunity.
Welcome back following the commercial break. If you're just tuning in, be reminded you're watching QTV Nightly News coming to you live from our studios on Caraba Avenue. Now, the Center for Research and Policy Development held a roundtable discussion on Thursday, which brought together civil society organizations, the media and the police to address important issues relating to human rights violations. Loliam Kamara attended and she filed this report.
The event showed to shed light on recurring violations of human rights and clarify the roles of oversight institutions in addressing these issues. The Center for Research and Policy Development is an independent, not-for-profit and non-partisan social, research, advocacy, learning and capacity building organization committed to promoting inclusive democratic governance in the Gambia. Degen Job, CRDP's advocacy officer, security sector reform focal person, outlined the importance of these discussions.
We come together as our stakeholders to talk about the recent human rights violations that has been happening in the country, and also to discuss the way forward for democratic policing to ensure that we all preserve the never again that we all committed ourselves to, but to also ensure the protection of the rights of citizens and even the rights of the police officers that are usually involved in this.
Research by CRDP shows that over the years, the Gambia has made significant improvements in its human rights records, both nationally and internationally. However, despite initial progress in promoting and protecting human rights, significant challenges persist, threatening people's dignity, freedom, and well-being. Here is Degen Job again on the recommendations generated from these discussions.
The Constitution is being gazetted right now. We have agreed that it's an opportunity for us as part of the civil society and media advocacy to take up the opportunity to ensure that some of the provisions we have that are geared towards democratic policing are looked at, are reviewed to see that it suits the demands that we are making to the police right now.
The participants shared insights and suggestions for promoting and protecting human rights in the Gambia. Here is Laming Jaite, the Deputy Commissioner of the Gambia Police Force.
I think one of the reasons why we are here is for us to understand the environment in which we work in. Having known the environment or having appreciated the environment in which security sector bodies work in will be very important to ensure that there is that common understanding, that common platform of coming together, that common collaboration or cooperation among us, so that we will know who does what.
Among other outcomes, a position paper proposing an amendment to the Public Order Act, which restricts freedom of assembly, will be developed to be shared with stakeholders. The CRDP and the participants are hopeful that this event and its outcomes will contribute to positive change and greater accountability for human rights violations in the Gambia in the future. For QTV News, Loli M. Kamara.
Now, the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy presented tools and accessories to the National Cybersecurity Committee to enhance cybersecurity coordination, monitoring and evaluation. Loli Samba Roy Sambarada tells us more.
The initiative, which will support the work of National Cybersecurity Committee, is in line with the World Bank-funded Digital Transformation for Africa, or Western African Regional Digital Integration Program. Serigne Omar Lo is the project coordinator for the Digital Transformation for Africa program.
Cybersecurity is a very, very important area of the digital realm. Okay, everything we do, we need some type of security and assurance.
Mr. Lo highlights the significance of the event and says more items will be presented in future to boost cybersecurity in the Gambia. Hassan Diallo, Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy, outlined how enhancing cybersecurity will protect businesses and institutions against cybercrime.
This approach ensures a coordinated and inclusive effort by all stakeholders from the onset. It also demonstrates the government's commitment to safeguarding our cyberspace. Since cybercrime knows no borders, national cooperation is a stepping stone to achieve international cooperation in the global cyberspace.
Sanusi Drame is the Director of National Cybersecurity at the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy.
Cybersecurity is very fundamental because you can take it like this. If you have a country, you build all the nice skyscrapers, the banks, the homes, and all the critical infrastructure, and then you leave it unsecure, no protection, no army, no police. So cybersecurity is almost the same thing. On the internet, on the digital platforms, when you have your digital assets, you have your, let's say, bank account transactions, and you have your payments for your taxes, and you have all of these things, you need to secure it.
In an attempt to address the cybercrime challenge and continue to remain proactive in national response, the Gambia government has embarked on measures designed to facilitate ICT integration into all sectors of Gambian economy. For this to be realized, safety and security should be central in national development initiatives. The formulation of the 2022 to 2026 revised Gambia Cybersecurity Strategy and Action Plan is a positive step and a significant component for the long-term measures to protect the country from cyber-related security risks. Reporting for QTV News, I am Rahisam.
And time now for some sports news in a moment. Now, over a dozen children took part in a month-long tennis academy training organized by former Gambia tennis champion Daniel Abel Thomas. The players and their parents attended the closing ceremony at the Independence Stadium tennis court in Bakau. Our sports reporter Mahmoud Gajaga was there and he now reports.
These children, with ages ranging from 5 to 14, were introduced to tennis a month ago after their schools closed for the rainy season holiday. Under the watchful eyes of their parents, they showed their basic tennis skills with ball and racket. They practice on one-on-one and also play in pairs. Former Gambia tennis champion Daniel Abel Thomas is the organizer of this tennis training.
This was a visionary program in order to develop Gambian tennis stars and professionals. Gambians don't have in tennis stars and professionals. But with you, you can make it.
When schools go on a break for their rainy season holidays, which are the lengthiest in the school year, some students will attend vacation classes and studies. According to Mr. Thomas, education is important. However, he believes the children should be allowed to take breaks to play sports, as this will relax their mind and help them think better. He has a challenge for the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, MOPSI.
Holiday time is for you to rest and to play sports and also to go for excursion, not to continue your curriculum. I hope you understand. This is very bad. It's money making, and this is very bad. We have to stand against it. It's very bad because people are using the schools to make money. They've made a lot of money. Holiday time is for you to rest and to play.
In a country like the Gambia, where tennis hasn't reached a high level, grassroots training like this could help shape a better future for aspiring and young tennis players. Filian Jallo and Mamadou Ba describe how it feels to be part of the training.
It went fine, and Mr. Thomas did a great job teaching us.
What have you learned in the last 1 month as far as tennis is concerned?
We learned backhand, forehand.
And do you like it?
Yes.
Definitely. How what?
Tennis is a beautiful game. I love playing it because it's enjoyable. I'm so passionate about the sport.
Paolo Barry, a tennis coach who has been with these children throughout the month-long training, says it was tough, but he is happy to have contributed.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, and then learning from the senior coach, Mr. Thomas, and then learning from Bakar, who left to Dubai. Yeah, it was great. Even me as a junior coach, this will help me a lot to grow up as a coach, maybe in the future.
Ramatullah, a parent, says she has 3 children who were part of the training and praised the organizers. She says she used to play tennis and that's why she loves the game.
Sport dafa baax torop. So suma gisee suma xalé yi buga ko, dama leen di gëna encourage ko ñu def ko.
Sport is very important. I know my kids like tennis. That's why I encourage them, because it's very good for their health. I am still a very active person as well.
Training these children to play tennis might be the catalyst to produce future tennis champions and professionals for the Gambia. Mamudu Gajaga, QTV News.
And I'm afraid that's all about it for this bulletin. On behalf of the entire production team, thanks for watching. Join us on Monday, same time for more news.